Hi everyone, it's Mack here. Right, we're going to do Helgen Reborn by Mack, and oh my god, do I have some good stuff to tell you. Now everyone loves a quest mod, everyone loves a player home, everyone loves a kind of new area to explore, everyone loves that stuff. How about we just bung it all together and make one awesome mod that, to be honest, is like a completely new DLC. Yeah, let me take you through this by the hand. So when you first load up the game with this quest, you get a quest pop-up, obviously, and the first part is to read a book that you've been given. Now, I should say this video is not going to have any spoilers at all, but just to give you an idea how to get started, basically it does it for you. Mike Hancho's done an awesome job. Yeah, so you read the book and it gives you a couple of pointers. You know, if you're a very low-B character, you might have to wait a little while. There's some indicators. If you're a higher level character, then you should be good to go, kind of thing. And it all kicks off in good old Whiterun, you know, and you have to go and speak to some dude, and obviously you can kind of expect where you're going to be heading. Look at the title of the mod. So yeah, a hop, skip and a jump later, you're approaching Helgen, that place you escaped from at the very beginning of the game, that was in flames, that was destitute, decrepit. Well, it's soon to be Ubar, but first you have to get past some local hatred. You get some quests. Initially they start off fairly basic, nothing too dramatic, and it's kind of starts to evolve. It's very in keeping with the pace of Skyrim. You don't have to worry about it all being like happening too quick or taking too long. It doesn't happen like that. It's a very slow evolution, but it's kind of nice. You can kind of tie it in with the rest of the game. But yeah, you could probably guess all that, but what you might not be able to guess is that there's 20 voice actors involved with this. There's new sets of armor. There's obviously new things that you can do, new things that you can see. It's very in keeping with the lore of Skyrim. But my god, if I rattled off a list of everything this mod offers you, bearing in mind this has been done by a guy who's given up his time to do this. He's not, you know, he's not even working for Bethesda. I mean, it's insane. Just sit tight and watch the rest of this video, and by the end, if you don't get this mod, then I don't know, nobody can help you. Okay, firstly you get, like, you know, obviously the main quest line, which will take somewhere between 4 and 5 hours to do, depending on how much you want to explore, how much you've done already, that kind of thing. There's an interesting story. There's a couple of choices you can make along the way. There's some that I'm not going to mention at all in this because I wouldn't want to spoil it for you, but there's some that are to do with the actual Helgen itself and the rebuild of that, which I will mention, but only briefly. But what starts out as kind of, you know, fairly ordinary questing in some ways, soon evolves into a very interesting experience and lots and lots and lots of fun.
So weak. Can't walk.
Sienna, he's not gonna make it if you don't help him. See what you can do.
Hang on, Horst. I'll have you as good as new in a second.
So the first thing you have to do is kind of go and get some friends, which are going to be your guards basically, and you have to take them out on some quests individually to evaluate them, and they're to kind of fairly straightforward areas but spread across Skyrim, and yeah, you have to kind of assess whether they're any good or not.
Yes, I believe they are all waiting in the courtyard for your return.
So under the guidance of Arnie in disguise, you get to take these guys out. You have to, you know, go on some fairly straightforward quests. If you're a slightly higher level character, you will have discovered these areas. If you're not, it doesn't matter because they're in areas where quests happen anyway, so that's cool. And here's the deal, once you obviously kind of complete those quests, one with each of the guards, you can obviously then, you've recruited your guards for Helgen, and that is the first part of the chain. There's a few others. I thought it might end there and that maybe I'd be able to do some little bits and bobs afterwards, but then I realised how much more of the mod there was to play and how much more there was to look forward to, and it opened up really from those starter quests. So what's the deal, you might be wondering? Well, the deal is that you go through the story, you make some choices along the way. Do you want Helgen to be independent? Do you want it to be Imperial? Do you want it to be, Stormcloaks? And that changes some of the banners that are flying around and things like that. Some of the uniforms that people wear, like guards for example. The story is quite an interesting one. There are some choices to make along the way, like I said earlier on, but I won't obviously be mentioning much more about that. But obviously this is all building towards you actually getting to the chance where you can rebuild Helgen, and once you get to that point, it's also a very interesting evolution. So let's start with the player home side of things. You get given this quite early on. Helgen's not even rebuilt yet, but you've got a home, so that's cool. It's fairly straightforward in one way and amazingly awesome in another. Obviously you've got the basic setup here, somewhere to sleep, somewhere to store some stuff. There's obviously enchanting tables and weapons racks, and you can switch on some dummies that also appear in here. I forgot to do that. Somewhere for your priest mask, which is always cool. But then Mike Hantro throws you a little ball of awesome, which is the dynamic display room. Oh my god. Basically this room, if you like, although it's actually a cavern at the very bottom of your player house, evolves as your character does. So as you're doing things, different things will display. So if you've spoken to the Greybeards and done some stuff with them, you'll get a Greybeard statue, and so on and so on. And these are some of the other things that you can do with an NPC by giving them some materials, and they can create statues. So this is how it started off for me, where I literally had spoken to the Greybeards and done some Draugr quests and stuff, and this is the way the cavern looked initially for me. But look at it now. Look at the cavern now. I mean, the imagination of doing something like this that actually progresses as your character progresses, keeps you coming back to Helgen, keeps you wanting to evolve this place as a kind of a mark of, where you've been, what you've been doing, how far you've come, is a terrific idea. There's no official player home that does anything close to this. I love this cavern. I love the fact that in the room before, you can actually automatically display some bits and bobs, and it's dynamic, and these are actually things that get constructed in this room when you hand them into an NPC, some materials like dragon bones or whatever. And it does depend on the type of dragons you meet, the type of enemies you meet. Now I gave the guy as much as I had, and I got a lot in this room. Now my character that I'm playing on this particular mod is about level 31, 2 or 3, somewhere around there, and I have characters that are way higher. I also have characters that are way lower. So you can imagine that this place would evolve with you, as really almost a kind of a DLC should evolve with your character. But this one really does. I mean, look, there's even a cheeky werewolf. So this is even before you finish the main quest line, right? And obviously when you do finish the main quest line, which is fun and interesting as well, you obviously then have the job of actually rebuilding this dump. Which does take a little bit of time. Thankfully it doesn't happen as soon as you finish the quest you instantly get everything awesome and everyone loves you. There's still a little bit of work to do, and you don't just suddenly get it. But look at the transformation that happens here. So what starts off with a player home and a little inn, you know, and an awesome quest line that's really enjoyable, you know, guys start to build some stuff around Helgen, you know, at the end of the quest chain, and you're thinking, that looks cool. What's going to happen? What's going to be in there? And that's how it ends up. You know, you get more than just a player home and some quests. It's a lot more than that. You get pretty much a player town. There's everything here. There's shops, there's interiors, there's your own inn, obviously, like I said. There's a general store, there's a blacksmith, there's all sorts of things here, and you can watch it evolve. So you can go out and do some quests, you know, for a day or two or something, come back, and all of a sudden that's turned up, you know, and you go out and you think, oh, that's cool, you know, got somewhere else to buy some stuff or put some stuff, and you think, oh yeah, what about that funny building that had a bit of a weird shape to it and it's all broken down? Well, that's going to take a while. And then you come back and bam, you know. You know, I mean, it's wonderfully done. I love the fact that it's not just all instantly yours and instantly available, and you know, it kind of evolves with you much the same way as the display room does, for example, in your player home. It kind of evolves as you do, so you don't have to rush it. You can take your time, and before long, you know, just by going out and doing your usual thing with your quests, Helgen turns into this, your own player kind of town, and it's terrific. I mean, I loved the quests, I loved the voice acting, the characterization, I loved the town. There is just an awful lot of good things about this mod. Now, I intentionally waited before getting this mod. I saw it a little while back and I thought, my god, that looks cool. I know a couple of people have tried it before, and there's been certain things that people have tried, but if you're going to get any Helgen mod, bearing in mind it's where you start off your character's life, this is the one you get. It's easily one of the best quest mods and all-round package you get on the Nexus or the Steam Workshop. I mean, you have to get this mod, you have to try it out. It's brilliant. I mean, you might as well play through this before you play through Dragonborn or Dawnguard. If you have those DLCs, it might as well be a DLC on its own. You know, Mike Hancho's done a terrific job with this. The imagination involved with this is brilliant. I really enjoyed the 4 to 6 hours or whatever it was that I was playing through it. I will definitely be bringing other characters back here. I will definitely be using this mod. This won't be getting uninstalled, and there's not many mods that I feel like that about. You know, a handful that I can think of off the top of my head. But the imagination that's involved here, the customization that's involved here, it's well worth a closer look. And if you're still in doubt, well, go and look at some of the other videos, some of the other reviews for this mod, and you'll see it's extraordinary. I mean, I was completely blown away. And as for Chuck, well, he's always blown away. But anyway, yeah, go check this mod out. It's very, very, very cool, and endorse him as well. Big style. See you next time. Take care of yourselves. See ya. Bye.